What's up, everybody? Brett here, back today playing some more Tower Dominion. Little slightly bit annoyed. I got like, I don't know, a little bit into recording a video here, and the game crashed like 10 minutes in. And it's very annoying to say the same thing twice in a row, but I will ignore that and try to introduce you guys to yet another very interesting character in this game, part of the Iron Dragoons faction. This is going to be us playing as Colonel Agraft. So his special deal is all buildings gain plus 15% damage against air units. Very good. That's just a sick flat bonus. And then field duty, he starts with one special Puma position manned by Agraft. It's very cool. We're going to try to take on a level 3 campaign. I've been playing this game in my free time a little bit here and there, and it's very funny how often I will win like a 3 or a 4 difficulty, but then like lose a 2. Like, so I'm gonna do my best to kill it this run. I think here what we should do is close off one of these corners. The only question is like which one. And I think it's may not really matter. All I'm looking at right now, guys, is this corner piece right here to see if maybe it'll line up in such a way that it'll make like an interesting terrain feature, but it kind of doesn't. So we'll just go there. So here is Agraft's Puma position. So what we can do is we can just place it, and we can take a second to look at it, and we can just cancel it afterwards. So he starts with an anti-air weapon, the dual barrage LMG. Cool. But here, two very different ways to play this character. So air defense here, all anti-air weapons gain 10% damage against air units, and then gain 2 Puma positions. So you get 2 blueprints, which is great. And you also get yet more anti-air, which is good. Late game air units are pretty scary, and sometimes you'll lose to them, right? As opposed to the camo guys, the shield guys, the tunneling guys, all that stuff. Or we have Agraft's Company, plus 25 infantry HP, gain 2 Imperial Barracks. So what you do with this is you get the infantry HP. It's very cheap, right? You put the barracks out in the world, and then you use your tech to get additional grenadiers that, you know, run out of the headquarters, and they're going to be much stronger, right? And with 2 Imperial Barracks, that's an extra, it's an extra 10 grenadiers. That's kind of a lot of damage. And HP essentially means damage because they kamikaze themselves into the enemy. So that's pretty good. Either one, you kind of can't go wrong. It just depends on what you want to play, right? Then we have, and I got to say, getting 2 blueprints off of either of these is very good. So here we got Target Finder, just straight up increases the range. You can already see Agraft has pretty decent range. Slightly, I think the same as a normal Puma to start with, but 2 range. And then we also have the option to get himself and adjacent buildings detection and 100% damage. So here's where you start to deviate. Do you take the early game advantage, or do you take the very strong late game advantage? 100% damage to everything surrounding him is huge, and he can only have 4 things next to him, right? So, but that's 5 towers with 100% damage and detection. I think this is worth waiting for. You don't necessarily need to place Agraft this early, right? Definitely wait until you get kind of a really strong position where you can get that full surround, make use of his already okay range, not needing to get the target finder, and then you come down here. So we see the cost disparity between target finder and Omega scanner, even more so here at the end. So custom quad barrels replaces weapon with a quad barrage plus 400% damage, and he gets a better weapon, which I don't think those two are the same thing. I think those are both damage upgrades, which also will apply to this. 100%, so you're giving him 500% damage, or you can use him, get this, just rush this as early as you can, go boom, 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 right, or boom, 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 whatever you want, and then get the additional supply and recon production, which that's definitely a way to play this character. So I'm going to cancel this here. We are going to start by, I got to tell you though, I'm probably not going to go the Grenadier buffing route, which would entail me grabbing operations room at the start, and then officers' quarters and going down that whole spiel. we're going to go for corner strong points, and we're going to grab barrage LMG positions. And that's all of our cash, but you'll see here our headquarters is now a nice little fortress, able to protect itself from all the different entry points that we've got. Very cool. All right. Any good doctrines to start off with? We've got 2 really good doctrines. I like getting a little bit of early game repair. You only need a little bit. You can leverage your HQ's HP for other doctrines or other upgrades that require your HQ to take some damage. And then just getting better doctrines is good. Not so good. Would love 100 supply. We're not going to be doing a lot of re-rolling. The recon's not relevant. Very rare that I'll take a double doctrine early instead of trying to place buildings. But it is what it is. Range right now looking a little pitiful. But there's upgrades in the office quarters for that. So keep in mind too, and this is something that's probably very easy to overlook. The Puma position, the headquarters counts as a tower. So how do we want to do this? I'm thinking of just extending this out this way. Circling this around, going straight here. And straight here. So we'll take that. So if we place this here, for instance, might not be the best position, right? But if we place this here, we could put another tower here, here, and here and get those buffs. I don't know what I would want to put on a 0 spot that's not touching the headquarters. But that is an option. And not a terrible option. For now, however, what do we want to do? Could place down... We've got 500. 500 is a nice little stack of cash here. Let's take this high ground for our sturdy bunker. Gonna try to get the high ground expertise at some point. Let's grab this spot here for a Mirador. Start getting a little detection. And we're going to want detection on all sides. For now, our headquarters is eminently capable of defending itself. Let me go ahead in the settings real quick. I'm going to lower the mass... You know what? I kind of like the music volume. Let's bring that up a little bit. Let's bring the master volume down a little. Okay, resume. Good stuff. We'll take those. We've got some interesting terrain around the map. This position here, pretty good. And then we'll look to upgrade these two and this one before we build too much more. But if we're going the route of turning our headquarters into like a super fortress, putting Agraf's tower right next to the base, I think, is the move. Ooh, interesting. It's giving me the opportunity to close this off. That's tempting. Or we start doing what was kind of the original plan and start building out that way. And I think we stick with that. And it also, I mean, it gives me some early discovery, which I like. This is a pretty good spot. There's probably better things I could put here, but this is okay. Or we could just stick this here. It'll activate it. We're starting to take a little damage, but we've got a good bit of HQ repair. All the little bit of damage we took here is going to be gone next wave. Okay. We're going to try to stock up on some early blueprints. And the reason we're placing the Mirador so close is so that we can get to close support. Yeah, we'll take that. And this is what we wanted here. Very good. Even more repair for the HQ when we need it. Might put a Durandal here. It benefits from being next to neutral positions in terms of range. What do we want to do with this 500? I might just bite the bullet right now. The question is, which direction do I place this? Maybe in a viscerally direction. Sure. I don't think we can go wrong. Either way. And we'll get air defense. And this is what we really want right here. But it's going to be a while. We're not going to have the cash flow to support that for a minute. Hard to turn down some early supply production. We're pretty light on that at the moment. We're looking for a 3-piece here to connect these two and extend out this way. Puma's doing work. Let's get the rate of fire reload. This could be a really powerful, sturdy bunker position. I may have wanted to grab short-range comlink there. I was a little hasty in doing that. You know what? Sure. Let's grab Hulky Fortress. It certainly does play with what I'm trying to do. This is also interesting. Do we just shut this corner down? Or do we try to round the corner here? I think we just shut off the corner. That makes this so much more dangerous. But I think we're good. Kind of take a look at what this range looks like here. I'm going to just grab the second heavy Vencedor. Should really shut this down. Got a nice little bit of coverage here for the air. Remember, we do bonus damage to air. But we definitely need a little bit more. Now that we've sort of funneled a lot of enemies here and here, especially here, we're 1 square away from the base. That's no bueno. Let's go ahead and grab Vicious Crossfire. Yeah. See, this is a little concerning. This is what I didn't want. And we can't re-roll it because it's Brighta's Nest. Ooh. I should have remembered we were on wave 10. I wanted to get at least one more extension before doing that. I could stick this out here, and then instead of doing what we were doing originally, which is building this way, we start wrapping this way. And I think that's what we're kind of forced to do now. The question is just kind of where do I want this slightly higher ground? And how much, you know, is this... See how we're moving the cave a little bit, just that little bit extra further away? I think that's good. So let's do that. And we get an industrial site as well. Huh. Sturdy bunkers do like to be placed next to each other. I like this. And with upgrades, especially to its range, and with the heavy Vencedors attached, this is going to be an excellent position. But we do want to unlock this ASAP. And if we do have an opportunity to get a Durandal in the next blueprint pack, or the next reinforcements, we're going to try to take that. So we're somewhat well defended here. Shield guys are always tough. Do we have the sauce to kill them? Kinda. Yeah, no Durandal. Let's take the scout hideout and the sturdy bunker. We'll curve this here to do what we were just talking about. But now I am going to... We're going to go sturdy bunker here. I don't want to miss out on another 50 supply production for another turn. And it's going to be relatively weak until we fill this in, fill this in, fill this in. But I think with a Reaper Cannon to do heavy damage versus the Shield Bros, we're going to be happy that we have that. A little more damage, a little more detection. Yeah. This is going to give our HQ detection, which is huge, but we see here we need to really prioritize our power level out here. Buildings adjacent to 4 other buildings gain 20% damage. Remember, this also applies to our headquarters. I'm tempted to take 2 barracks, but I think we take tight ranks. So this should have tight ranks. Or no, we've only got 3 buildings. If we add 1 more building next to it, which we could do right now, yeah. It should have it now. Yep. 20% bonus damage. You love to see it. And so will Agraf's Puma position once we fully surround it. So we're going to take our money here, get... We kind of, you know, we don't need to get the detection here, but this... We're missing out because it's at a height of 2. If it was at a height of 0, this would be much better. But this just gives us another defender. Make this... I don't believe the light mortar positions are useful until you at least get these first 2 upgrades. Now, you know, they've got a little bonus damage, some bonus detection. It's also very early. Probably would have been a... Ooh, there's the Durandal I was looking for. I'd like to have at least one of those, even if it's a little late to the party. But I was going to say this. So we took the range, but if this was on an elevated position, I would have 100% took learning machines. Every wave gained 5% damage, and if you get this very early, over the course of a long game, that is a lot of bonus damage, and they can end up being very useful. Would like to put an ammo depot here, maybe. That could be a move. Or just a mirror door at ground level. What else? What else? We've got some pretty nice options. Here. Pretty sick position here. With heavy shells. Gonna have massive coverage. Alright, let's get a little more detection. Camo seems like it's gonna be a big thing here. May also want to start rushing to get all of our close support. Yeah, we'll take that. Could use a little recon. We have currently no production of recon. Could spend to get the signal operator here. And I think we're going to do that. Let's start generating some recon. We might get a couple scout hideouts out of it by the end of the run. And that's worth it. They're towers that only require recon to build. They also are great detection towers. Placing one here might be excellent. And we're going to be able to this turn. Man, we're getting hooked up with the Imperial Barracks. Decimation positions are cool. They're not that strong, but they are very cheap to upgrade. They need to be in a square, right? Here's a pretty good position for them. Here's a pretty good position for them. Could even... Nah, up here kind of sucks. Tempted. Also a nice bastion. Let's take the decimation position. I think that's an interesting choice for us. Let's start curving you up. Really bad position to get this. There's nothing that we want to place here or here to get range and damage. So the deal with this guy is he has these like weird funky mortar shots. But what you really want to do is place these frag launchers. So right now what we want to do is rotate this. It's hard to tell which way they're shooting. Nope. Want to rotate it again. Or if you can tell, I'm not able to tell. I can see, let's see. Are you facing how I want you to face now? Kinda, yeah. So now I can get these 2 upgrades, and we've got a little bit of coverage here. Let's place this down here, and once this is fully upgraded, it'll have massive range. It'll cover everything for us with good detection and slow. We need so many things right now. Good time just to start upgrading, probably. 2 light mortars and a bonus. Yeah, we'll take that. That was just a no-brainer. That was just actually better than what we were looking for. Probably going to get this. We don't need the blue... Excuse me. We don't need the blueprints yet. Let's take the cheap second heavy Vincador upgrade. Taking some hits up top. That's not great. Wow, give me an early Rampart missile silo. Going to be tough for us to save up for that. Especially since we're already sort of taking damage. So I'm building out here. We're probably going to get some air units running into that early direction. Adjacent buildings gain detection and range, huh? This probably covers us, especially if we get the cannon on it. Don't really have great stuff. An option here would be to get the Durandal turrets as quickly as possible. Let's watch this turn and see what we need. Because the problem just may be that we don't have detection. I mean, not bad. If we can wait one more wave, we'll definitely be able to get the Omega scanner. I mean, especially if we take the supply. We can grab that right now. So, that's huge. So, our base just got detection and 100% damage. Which, once we get the Durandal turrets, and we also get down to here, the underground train, we're going to get massive rate of fire, an additional range per battlefront, and 200% HP and 15% repair. And then all of the Miradors that we've been strategically placing around here, we're also going to get multiple stacks of close support for 30% HP, 15% damage, 5% repair. So it's going to make our fortress, our headquarters, truly a fortress. We just got to survive. We just got to make it to that. Which may be easier said than done. But yeah, the headquarters is now defending itself versus these camo dudes. Little creepy crawlies. We'll grab these blueprints. We want Miradors. All buildings. So that's a lot of HP for the headquarters, but I don't think we need it. I'd rather have the division relay and another Mirador. And I'll take a light mortar. And we'll just take more Miradors. We want to surround the main base with Miradors. That's the plan right now. Let's build this early direction. So this Mirador is going to benefit from the Puma position, and if we upgrade this way, 100% damage, rate of fire, and 2 bonus range because he's sitting at 0 height. But unfortunately, he's not adjacent to the headquarters, so we won't be able to get close support, but that's okay. Are we good? Are we good? Yes. Definitely want to upgrade our heavy shells so we can start spending some of our tech. That's a lot of power that just isn't being used right now. Man, it's going to be a hot second before we can get 3,500 supply. Love a good zone command. They fit in so well with so many different positions. Yeah, that'll work. The only question is, where do we want to put this zone command? This is a very strong position. That would give us a ton of coverage. So we've got big options here. We could save and just turn this into a supply production building, which is what we probably should do. Huh. And if we're going to do that, then we don't need to put this in such a powerful position. We would want to save this position, this centralized, elevated position, for something better. For now, we could put this... We still want it to be in a good spot where it can, you know, affect the battle, like here. But I think that's the move. I think now we save up. We get 900. Getting the 300 recon is going to be borderline impossible with the production we have right now. We haven't gotten any neutral buildings that give us recon production, despite, you know, getting a little bonus discovery there. This is an investment in our future. As long as we can survive this wave well, I'll be confident in dropping 900 here. Because it's going to have to pay for itself over the course of, you know, was that 12 waves? Essentially 11. And it does pay for itself, especially with recon, when you start figuring that. But when we can't use our recon, you know, this might have been a bit of a bad idea. I might change course on that. I might change course. A little more supply production. We could have been using that, man. We'll stick a Durandal right there. So what I'm thinking now is we get the proximity radar. We say screw these two. We get the proximity radar. We get the heavy Vincador. And then we grab perhaps the requisition Ops 3 for more supply production instead of grabbing this Reaper cannon. Decisions. Yeah, I think we need to start making use of this tech. It's getting late. I wish I had gotten this earlier. But it is what it is. We need so many things. We need the underground train, and we need the Durandal turrets. We also need to start upgrading these guys. And those are cheap. Those are going to be easy for us to get. But this is a big deal. The range is what's going to be huge. We've only got one current battlefront, so we're not going to get a massive range increase. We're going to get an increase of 1. But the HP is huge. And the rate of fire is insane. But it's nice. We are covering more of the map. We're going to keep the air units pushed out a little bit. And then when we get the Durandal, check that out. Even more coverage. So here, let's go ahead and get the large squad. Making this tower much more efficient. 2 more weapons. Receiving the bonuses from the Omega scanner. 800 supply, huh? I'm greedy. I'm going to take that. You bribed me. Place that there. So now I'm sitting on such a wealth of cash that's going to be hard to accumulate again. I could drop down a Rampart missile silo here. Would love that. I could drop down a heavy pulse cannon here, which would also be very good. I'm going to opt to place a Rampart missile silo down. It's so expensive, it's going to be tough to save for that again. Let's go ahead and buff our Durandal. Give it way more range. Make it way more relevant. Very cheap upgrades for how good that is. Yeah. Maybe Durandal time. Yeah, shield's the big issue. This was going to be a much more relevant position when I thought the shape of this map was going to look different. It would still be worth it to upgrade, for sure. HQ getting 30% damage, but lowering the damage by everything by 10% is sounds like madness to me. These division relays. Let me see. Isn't there something on this? Let me just place it real quick and look at the upgrades real quick. So if I put this next to the headquarters, we can give it 15% damage and rate of fire. That's pretty good. The question is just where do we stick it? There's not a great spot for it. And we don't have any platforms to make a good spot for it. Huh. Could just throw it down here. It wouldn't be very efficient, but it may be worth it just to buff the main building here. The other option is just to very quickly kind of put them down here to help us deal with some of these shield enemies that are kind of having their way with us. But when you place these guys, you do want to keep in mind that you want them in a centralized location so that they can give those buffs. And you also, of course, want to be aware of their range. So this is an excellent position. But we're gonna hold off one more wave. We gotta get the Durandals, man. I'm being greedy. We just have to survive one more wave. And once we get this, we'll be so much safer up here as well. These strong units that we're kind of scared of right now are going to get nuked. Yeah, and there we go. That felt good. Who's doing what damage? The headquarters is doing great damage. The missile silo is doing good damage. Super heavy pulse cannon might be the move this wave. And I think it is. We're going to put that down. And in the absence of an ammo depot, we get some trenches. In the absence of an ammo depot, which I would love to place right here, we'll probably just increase this thing's range by 5, allowing it to hit up here, which is good. It just may not be the most optimal play. And with some frontline trenches, I love some of these positions here. Let's take that. Start curving up that way. We'll place this guy down here. Nice and cheap. Not going to bother with the final upgrade. Our infantry is doing very little this game. It has a slow, but we would need to spend some hard-earned cash to get that. And by hard-earned cash, I mean recon. Want to get local supply here. We'll get that next on our scout hideout. Giving it, I don't know, one... I don't know how many neutrals we have active. 1, 2, 3... 4. It's not a huge buff, but it's something. So let's get the big range there. Gonna allow him to shoot back here as well. Shattering charge is super good and very important. But you know what? As I'm sitting here thinking out loud, we need to grab these close supports. We just, I mean, multiply those stats by 3, and that's what we just gave to our headquarters there. Love a medium mortar position. Wish we had gotten these earlier, because we had some positions where I would have liked to have placed them. But we do still have some tech available to fully upgrade them in the way that I normally like to do. So this position's okay. This position is okay just because of how much we've expanded. I kind of like the idea of placing here to try to give additional coverage up top, because it will do that once we upgrade it. So do we lower the range a little? Will that help us at all? Not much. So we go for max damage. You know what? Could have put it up here. Anyway, let's go, yeah, let's go lateral pivot system. Because if you get the data sharing, you can give adjacent buildings 50% rate of fire and detection. But thankfully, we've already got detection here. But 50% rate of fire on the headquarters is massive. But this is great. We just got a huge AoE tower that we've been kind of missing this entire run. Something like this. And then we're going to look to get these linked pulse cannons done. Help us nuke some of these shield guys. How are we doing up here? Keeping it pretty clear. I am worried about the late game when they might just send one huge monster down there. That time may come. We get the ammo depot. We've already got detection. But I do still like having the ammo depot. It's still very good. Let's see, what are we placing here? Drop this there. We get more discovery. Where can we throw this? Throw that there. Man, we have no bastions, huh? I've been kind of waiting to put a bastion here for a while. If we build it this way, we leave a corner for another Mirador. I don't hate that. I don't love this position, though. I'd much rather place this somewhere where it can hit the units coming out of this cave. And that would be like here. That's tough. I might hold off on deciding that. So what the ammo depot does is it buffs damage of adjacent towers. Said an ammo tower here might have been the move. But in lieu of doing that, we're just going to buff the headquarters, man. I think that's good. Trying to think of someplace clever to put this. Maybe here. I think that's the move. So let's go that. We're going to get staging area maxed out. Right? 2, 3, and 4. So what this is doing, adjacent buildings getting 20% damage and rate of fire. We're going to increase that by 5%, 5%, and then 10%. So our base is just going to have massive damage bonuses. Adjacent buildings getting 2 range. You know what? We're going to spend our last tech on that. I mean, look how much damage this is doing. But we just made the headquarters a beast. Give it close support again. Yeah, let's just grab some recon here. I think I forgot to grab local supply. And we're just going to get that because it's cheaper. I would really like to get the compact charges. What this build is missing right now is slow. Which I can get through Miradors. Or not Miradors, Warwolves rather. I can get through Rampart missile silo upgrades, but it's extremely expensive. What are our options? We're running out of options because we are quickly coming up to the end of this particular run here. I'm going to place another Mirador there to buff and help protect us up top. What else? What else? Just round off all these cheap upgrades I've been holding out on. Solid foundation would be great here. That'd be a nice damage boost. For the sturdy bunker that's been sitting here hitting everything since the beginning of the game. Let's see how we're doing up top. Looks fine. The Warwolf positions also get bonuses from being at 0 ground level, but also next to the headquarters. Something to consider. But that looked pretty clean. Another medium mortar position, as well as a retribution position. Huh. Buildings adjacent to HQ gain plus 50% damage and minus 15% upgrade costs. This is beautiful, and will give us a lot of bonus damage. To be honest, we don't even have the cash to build this right now. I would take that if I was trying to build towards an endless, like a really long endless run. But we're not really doing that. We could. We'll go endless. You know, I've got time right now. I don't have to go anywhere. So if we manage to beat Wave 32, we'll do endless. But I'm a little concerned about the feasibility of that. This could be good, but maybe not worth it. I think we just get high ground expertise. Look to start upgrading this. Finally finish off our Imperial Barracks. Get our value from this. Once we get the heavy Vencedors, it'll be able to help against the enemies that are coming out of the cave. Really want to get Shattering Charge as well. Hitting 4 units instead of 1. And doing the massive damage that we really need to do to the shields is clutch. Said, I don't know if we're ever going to get this. Unless we go into an endless run. But that makes me think we should have gotten this a long time ago. But anyway, we're going to do what I said. We're going to prioritize that. This is all so late. Good for endless, but very late. We really wanted that supply. I mean, 40% supply production is massive. And we've discovered so many neutral places that we got no benefit from. Speak of the devil. So let's prioritize Shattering Charge. We don't have any Durandals. I would place a Durandal down here for sure. This is also a great kind of secondary position that we're not making full use of at the moment. Make you all-purpose. Let's get our compact charges. So much to do, man. So much to do and not enough cash. So this is the Warwolf's slowing ability. It costs 2 grand. Would love to have that, but we just don't. How much damage you do, Chief? Good bit. We're crushing air. These are the guys I'm scared of spawning up here and killing us. Improve. This is a pretty cost-effective upgrade as well. Improved system, an even 1,000 to make this a much more efficient building. This kind of falls off though later. I said kinda. It really falls off later. Because the only enemies that spawn in endless mode later are super high HP, and then when this hits them, it doesn't really do anything. So this is interesting. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Easy access and shrapnel. Straight up. So this, all buildings gain 5% damage per battlefront. It's just going to be 5% damage. But I think that's still worth getting, as well as the discovery. And one of these fully upgraded out here is going to do a good bit of damage. Yeah, they're spawning some strong dudes out here. We're going to go ahead and prioritize building this and getting the automated analyzers to give 50% damage and rate of fire to the headquarters. I think ultimately the headquarters is going to need to protect itself on the last wave. And 18,000 HP looks like a lot and sounds like a lot until we get hit by like a half-health behemoth thing. And I don't like how close they're getting. Little too close. Love the buff there. Love that for endless. If we last another 25 waves, this will be amazing. Another mirror door to buff the headquarters is probably the move. That's kind of an easy sit down here. And then during this wave, we're going to rush to get this. We're going to need, was that like 765? This is what I was scared of. Can we kill them? Looking a little sketchy, but now that we got the automated analyzers, I think that maybe puts us over. Oh no, we're going to take huge damage from all the little spawny dudes. Yeah, going forward, we're going to need to buff that a lot. And like I said, if I can go back in time, I would have gotten this like 25 waves ago. But alas. So now all I'm thinking is, how are we going to defend this location better? Sure, let's go endless mode. I don't know how long we're going to last, to be honest, but we'll try. We'll give it the old college try. Love the electric arc cannon. That is yet another means of slow. We'll build up here, even more bonus damage versus air units. Man, they're giving me a lot to think about here. There's not a great location for this other than here. It's an awkward tower in this kind of like X shape. There's definitely nowhere up here to put it. Yeah. I think that's the best we've got. Let's give it the slow. You are going to get buffed. I think we're going to start unloading our bunkers right here. Like I said, I 100% should have gotten short-range comm link there. That's a mistake. How are we doing? We've also still got room here for these werewolf positions I mentioned earlier. We've got other upgrades here to get. This upgrade's never going to be that relevant. And this one will be helpful, but we'll see. We'll grab a medium mortar. Kind of wanted another mirror door to keep the buff train rolling there. I think we finally put down our Omega emitter. Some very cheap upgrades for it. The HQ could probably afford to take, I mean, it certainly could afford to take bonus damage every wave. This is the exact type of upgrade that justifies all the repair that we have, but we're at the point now where we're going to start taking damage, and things are going to get a little scary. We want this range to start slowing stuff and damaging stuff way out here. Drop down another bunker. We're covering here well. Love a sanction cannon. It's our first one of those also. Adjacent building gains extra damage. That's cool, but it doesn't really affect that. Would be a lot cooler if it did. So with a cannon, you want like a really long line of sight. This is not the cannon, this is the medium mortar, but with this, we want a kind of a position we don't really have. Like here, but even then, not that great. Medium mortars need to be at ground level. Give them some range. That's just a nice cheap upgrade there. We'll get some more cheaper solid foundations. Make sure we're covered up top. This is also a very efficient upgrade. Another 50% bonus damage to everything. Looks like we're still covering down bottom. I'm not that stressed about it. I'm way more stressed up here. We need to open up more entries in the bottom. Would love a bastion or two. Just haven't seen them. Enemies are still coming, man. Let's go for damage and range. And we're going to try to start getting some slow. That may be the next priority. This would have been great a long time ago. Still great now, I think. And yeah, the slow's great, but it's also 300% bonus damage. We're going to want to upgrade this one as well. But I think taking advantage of the bonus damage from the ammo depot and the fact that we can cover all of our entrances here, I'm going to put another werewolf there and probably rush the upgrade of that. We just got to get another werewolf. Get those upgrades on lock. 4,500 is a lot to spend on that, but boy, would we love to have that. High-grade capacitor gives us so much extra coverage. Tier 3 blueprints are 5% more likely to appear. This is a great investment. I don't know how much longer we're going to survive, realistically. May want to think about placing some claymores down there. And you know what? Let's just drop this. So 10% bonus damage versus air, even more repair. Sure. And we'll use what little recon we have to add some slow and range and damage, right? Probably do the same thing there. What else? I was thinking a claymore here or here might not be bad. Because it will gain detection and range, which I like a lot. We'll get the multi-purpose for the shield damage. I think these are relatively cheap but efficient plays we just made. Let's grab the frag launcher. I like it a lot to help us kill all these little nerds. And then we'll get the ammo reserve as soon as we can for the damage, rate of fire, and reload speed bonuses. I said we might just die this turn, but we are giving it the old college try. We're trying not to die. Wish we could place another claymore there. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, look at the big hits we're taking. Ow, ow, ow. Don't love that. This might have been a good position for the cannon. Fully upgraded, it gets massive range. Could also consider trying to get another rampart missile. But I'm just going to improve the one that we have now. This is 35? Yeah. Okay. This might be the wave we die on, guys. Some slow here might be good. How are you doing, man? Just trying to keep track of it on the DPS. I mean, that's great. Not a lot spawned up here. The walkers all came to the bottom down here, so we got a little bit of a reprieve, perhaps. Trying to think of what I could place here to get both of these, but I don't think there's anything I can do. But we should put something there. Here, at least. Have it do some general damage. Let's fast forward. These guys are so dang slow. Air units are going to spawn down here. And we're going to be happy to have 75% bonus damage. Okay, they didn't hit me. But boy, were they close to hitting me. We'll grab a howitzer. That's a fun tower. One of the few that we could place right there and have it be okay. Open up another entry point. I'm not mad at that. But check that out. That's pretty good. Also, is this any good? Kinda. If we had a platform, this would be insane. But we don't have a platform. We need to prioritize getting one of those. For now, I'm just going to drop this here. Give it a nice little upgrade. Additional targets and explosion radius. And we're going to go ahead and get the light mortar position fully upgraded there. Since I'm not, for whatever reason, getting any bastions given to me. Remember to upgrade our reinforced trench. So we added a nice little bit of power down there. Slow it down a little. So now I'm actually kind of looking for another howitzer. I think this is such an awesome position. It'll cover that whole spot. And it is a strong tower once it's fully upgraded. Also want to upgrade our medium mortar position. No more tech is coming to us, unfortunately. I wish there were more ways in this game to earn tech. But that's what makes it a rare resource. There just aren't. We also have this Durandal position here, which is very strong. Could just kind of like give in and get the cheaper upgrade, or hold off and get the Blessed Machine, which is super strong. I don't love the coverage. I wish this was in a more centralized position, but we made a choice early to get the early supply, and I think that was the right choice. We're covering. We are still alive. 3 irregular platforms. It's kind of what I asked for. A salamander position. Frontline trench with recon. We could fully upgrade it right away. That's a pro of it. I think we take the Mirador. Some very interesting platforms being given to us. I was thinking about the potential to use them here to get better positions around our division relay, so we could look to maybe put some useful towers here and make use of the bonuses that it gives. It's kind of my thought. Let's see. Could place this here. Give it some big range. Get the heavy Vincitors. What else? Might be worth it while I've got the cash just sitting here to grab another Rampart missile silo. Just throw it down back here. Not mad at that. Just make sure, I'm always trying to make sure we're not leaking up here. Let's buff our HQ more. That definitely needed to get done. How we doing? How we doing? Seems good. Kind of like a little skeptical here, but it does seem good. Don't love those. Trying to think of what else we would put here, like a Durandal maybe, or a Warwolf. Get the quad barrel going. Check out the firepower on that bad boy. It looks awesome. Our next Warwolf goes here. Our next Durandal probably goes here. Or here. Got a lot of options. Let's go ahead and get these defensive networks to give us a bunch of bunkers. Ooh, an air command. We haven't had one of those yet. Interesting. Do I have a great... Yeah, I mean this. This is what we would... Yeah. And I also like the Doctrine. It's buffing all of our Miradors, of which we have many. Keep building out. So many options, man. So this building just needs to be anywhere. So we'll put it here. Unless we can stick it... Nah. Yeah, that counts. So yeah, even more repair. You love to see it. And then we'll drop a smoke signal there. And then we'll look to Get some recon. All buildings gain even more damage versus air. Love it. And then we're going to want to get one more smoke signal. Wish we had another spot to put it on this same wave here. Otherwise, we might send it down here or down here. We'll see. So many options, man. Kind of drowning in options. Also, let us not forget the custom quad barrels, which does give us decent coverage around here. Love having the bombardments going off. That's sick. I like just collecting towers, man. It's fun. But now our sturdy bunkers have such insane range that we can place them literally anywhere. And have them be very effective. So what we need to start doing is looking for like some of these positions where we can hit everything, right? And I think we're going to start doing that. And I think this is a pretty great position to do it from. Could do it from here as well. It's a nice little spot. Nice little spot. We don't have any like really high ground. But assuming we don't just die here, we're going to start placing these down. And we'll upgrade them on the next wave. Yeah, like I said, assuming we don't die here. Cross your fingers. The HQ needs to do work. So they're not running straight in. They're going around. Which is good for us. It's buying us a ton of time. Once again, man, we need more slow. Could get another Rampart missile silo. 100 supply production, but the HQ suffers 850 damage per wave. This is something we've been kind of looking for the whole time. We can certainly afford that for that much benefit. I didn't want to do it for this one tower because this tower is not even doing that much damage. Because not that much is spawning up here. Or getting to live long enough. It's sending all the big guys down there. So here we're going to go short range comlink into cannons on everything. And we're going to opt to go kind of cheap on the solid foundations. As soon as we get the money. Alright. These big boys are spawning. They're pretty spooky. Is nothing spawning up here anymore? Because that kind of sucks. If everything's spawning here, then I'm glad I built here. Okay. The weak speedy boys are spawning up here, but it looks like we're clearing super efficiently. So how are we doing here? These cannons should be tearing them up. There's more cannons for the cannon god. And skulls for the cannon throne. And you know what? Watching them, the enemies make it all the way here and then split up, makes me really think we should prioritize the custom quad barrels. And probably overloading cells as well. Let's see if we can get this right now. This might save us. It's such a fast-firing weapon. Another 400% plus even better anti-air. Should be huge. It's moving up the DPS ranks. Ooh, don't like that. Okay, that's spooky. We didn't end up taking any damage, but boy, was that spooky. All buildings 10% reload speed. That's insane. Love the ammo depot and another electric arc cannon, but I think we're going to pass. This would be bad. If we did this, we'd be sending a massive wave down here that we might not be able to control. So let's just build that. We'll grab another Rampart missile silo. And this is what I'm saying. It only shoots at things as they spawn. And if not a lot of things are spawning, you're not going to get a lot of shots. This guy's got massive coverage. They got, I mean, they cover everything. But what I want to do is upgrade this and get even more sturdy bunkers. Start making another island over here. They're doing okay damage, these ramparts, but not anything crazy. Like, what did you do? I mean, huge damage. For how cheap that is, it did huge damage. Yeah, a bit of a weird position there. I'm looking at so many things. It just depends on what blueprints I get, man. An amplifier might be nice. Another air command, huh? Even more bonus damage versus air, and the big scary air guys are going to start showing up soon. We'll take that. We'll take that, and we'll use it. I don't want to use it on you. That's a little silly, huh? But it makes it so that more of a certain type of tower show up. So what do we want to show up? We want more sturdy bunkers to show up? Could put that here. This is our most powerful tower, probably. And it's not even fully upgraded. So I think it's kind of a no-brainer. We have to put that there. Give this dude a little bit of a weapon here. Targeted building gets bonus 20% damage. That's huge. And we can give it even more range. That's also huge. Love it. So many options, man. So many options. What do we do? What do we do? We got a lot of things unfinished. I could save here and try to get overloading cell. Could get a second smoke signal, which I'm going to do. This position is just too good. We got to do something with it. And then with the last bit of cash, let's grab sanctified shells. And buff these that we placed. Look at the flyers coming through. Take a macro view. Our headquarters is a beast. Our bunker position is pretty beastly. Our super heavy pulse defense is awesome. We've got a lot of good stuff going on. But it might be time to save for overloading cells. You know what? As this is running, guys, I'm going to get up for a second and go grab some water. One sec. Oh man, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm cool with it. Hopefully you guys like this super long video. We're going to grab overloading cells now that we've saved up the cash. Going to get heavy loader here. Probably next. Assuming we survive, making some pretty big assumptions, but I think we got it. Love to see a plasma fence. That's cool. This is also good. Each building at height 0 gains 10% damage. We've got plenty of buildings at height 0 that would just get a straight up damage bonus. This is also cool. I mean, it's a little bit of production that'll get affected by the percentage. So yeah, it ended up being like 30-something production. Not going to scoff at that. Just keep extending. And this is what we've been wanting the entire time. Some recon production. And to take advantage of it, I'm just going to place you there unupgraded to start racking that up. We've got some recon that we're not spending. I feel like I might be forgetting something. Oh, we could do that. Enhanced targeting. It's not bad. What else? What else? We were going to get heavy loader. Heavy loader into long barrel or triple barrel. Either one of those would be fine. And then a plasma fence we'd probably put up top just because there's only one entrance. All of our cheaper stuff is upgraded. These overcharged munitions might be something we should consider just grabbing right now. That's a nice little spot. We'll just build right there. Gotta start getting rid of some of these Imperial barracks. It sounds like a line out of Star Wars. Oh, fighting for the rebellion. I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan, but I do listen to a pretty cool podcast that I would be happy to put you guys onto. The Star Wars New Canon Book Club. It's a group of YouTubers I've been watching for like a decade. And they do a Star Wars themed podcast. And I love just listening to it because I'm a nerd and I like listening to nerds talk about nerd things. But they review like all the old canon and new canon stuff. It's called the New Canon Book Club, but they used to have another podcast called the Old Canon Book Club, which was also awesome. Man, am I going to get wrecked because I didn't put this here? I was about to say, I better not. But yeah, if you guys like... And they go over like everything. Like, what, for instance... Like all the weird made-for-TV shows that Star Wars did years back, their promotional material, all kinds of stuff. And it's just kind of fascinating, even as someone who doesn't, you know, I'm not in love with Star Wars. It's still fascinating to listen to. So here we have another ammo depot, which we could use, like here. And that's not a very efficient placement. We're not getting 4... you know, towers buff off of that. But as I look around, I don't really see any positions that are better, where we're going to get much better benefit. We could make like another position, like here, for instance, and start... Well, even that's not great because this one tower is taking up 2 of the potential buffs. So yeah, it's just, we don't have a much better option. So I'm just going to stick that right there. You know what? We're going to cancel that. We're going to stick that right here. That's better. Marginally, but it is. If we get another mirror door, we're going to want to place it there. And then, I mean, this is probably pretty useless, but we'll do that anyway. But that's massive fire rate and DPS increase for our headquarters. You love to see it. Okay. I've been kind of scratching my head seeing where to put these guys so that they would be very efficient. Like here, maybe? That's fine. Here is also good. We're going to get, you know, slightly more expensive upgrade costs, but that's good. But with the benefit of 75% additional damage. Additional damage. And here come the big air boys. Wish I could get some slow going here. Can upgrade this for some more bunkers, and we need them. Like I said, I want to start another high ground position here. You know what? Could have started one here and then used the ammo depot. Wasn't thinking that far ahead, but that might have been a slick move. There's so many blueprints that I wish I was getting that I haven't been getting. Let's speed this up. Part of the reason this video is going to be like 2 hours long. I'm glad I went for some nice walks already today. Otherwise, I think my back would be hurting sitting here for so long. I was gonna say, maybe that was optimistic. Maybe we're just dead. Okay, they're all trying to run there. I got it. I mean, I just have to take anything that gives me another building. I'm really seeing how many of them are trying to run to this location. Makes me really wish I had placed this here. Man, we can really close all that off, huh? Let's think about it. Let's use this button to see if we have anything massive that we haven't upgraded yet, like that. That's good. That's good. Spending the cash that we have. Good. And all of these can be upgraded. Very good. The Blessed Machine would have been a good upgrade. This is a good upgrade. So we've still got some very expensive upgrades to spend our money on. Comlink cannon. Comlink and cannon. About to say, are we dead? Are we dead? Ooh, probably next wave. Unless something big changes. And I mean, this is helpful right now. We also said we wanted another howitzer, but that was to shoot up here. We might be able to find a good position down here somewhere. I'm going to say, is it something we can find with the help of our platforms? Maybe. Let's increase the rate of fire on that. Those dudes are fully upgraded. Let's grab the Blessed Machine. See what kind of work that can do for us. How are we doing? I mean, all of our bonus air, anti-air, is probably what's keeping us in the game right now. We just have so much anti-air. Oof. Can't close that off, so we just extend. Trying to make a square here for another super heavy pulse defense. Would love to put it here. But we just need one basic platform that we just don't have. Let's go ahead and grab the Exitum Warhead upgrade. for some nice slow and extra damage. Don't probably need more than one of those. Or two of those, rather. Could place this here. And here. I mean, they're really running the cannon gauntlet. It's nice that building the rampart is basically like getting 3 blueprints in one. Is that helpful at all? Am I just dead? Oh my god, we live. We live to fight another day. We get another ammo depot and a scout hideout that we can kind of kit out pretty quickly. We also get another mirror door that we could put there. And another sturdy bunker. I don't know, man. I'm trying to make good plays, but I kind of don't know. We could sit down and do the math. But it's the weekend. I ain't doing no math. Build this here. Nice little buff for our headquarters again. Is there no square here for me? There really isn't, huh? That sucks. Yeah, there's not even that much for me to upgrade now. I guess we'll just grab that. Just make a ridiculous plasma fence. Wish I had him to put here. Anything I could do with these claymores, man. Or this claymore. That's not bad. Give it more range. And then with this... Okay. We spent the money. If we die here, we die, you know. I think we got as many useful upgrades as we could. Now we just be saving for the Victus warheads. We need this place really far back. I mean, here would be optimal, but that's not a thing. Let's keep it sped up for a second here, and then we'll slow it down and see how close we are to death. We really need to place this. If we get a chance to get a platform, we're going to take it. Probably pretty loud, huh? The roar of the ocean. Wow, we live again. Insane. All buildings gain 0.5% damage per building. Yeah, we're gonna take that. The trench not very useful, but we're gonna take that. This probably kills us. This would kill us, right? I'm gonna place it for the fun of for the love of the game, guys. I'd love to sit here for like 3 hours and try to get as far as we can, but I think this is okay. Let's do something like that. Something like that. We've got 10K for the love of Pete. Where do we put it? Probably just back here, right? Once again, if I just had some platforms, this would be beautiful. But in lieu of platforms, I think I'm just going to throw this down right here. Get the massive range upgrade. Call that a win. So everything is now spawning away from all of our defenses. And we're just going to die. So, there you go. I don't think they're going to run down here, run through the maze, come back around. They're just going to run straight into our base. This might even kill us. Unstable feed. Curious about the AI's behavior here. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. Are they running all the way around? They are! Oh my god, I might have just extended this run by like another year. That's insane. Let's get 2 Victus warheads. Put down this guy. They look to get a little more slow. But no, they do. They go all the way around. Okay. I wish there was an option, and maybe there is, and I don't know where it is, to see the act like an arrow that'll show me where they're gonna run. I'm not 100% sure why they have to go through the whole gauntlet instead of going to the nearest available exit point. Where are we going to put the funky stuff we got going on, man? More supply production. I mean, a Mirador is not going to get it done. And we just keep extending outwards into forever, huh? The endless run. Because, like, here would be the ideal location. Just a centralized, strong spot. And now that we know they have to run past everything, we can start exploring, I guess, other options with this. That's okay. Do we even have any additional space to buff our headquarters? We don't. We need like a flat terrain piece to go here. And in lieu of that, I think we honestly just don't even place it. The game could give us that, or we could try to re-roll to it. Because we're not doing anything else with our recon. I will say, if this goes on for 2 hours, I'm going to have to cut this off, because Jesus. Will we take damage from the plasma fence? Let's see. A little bit, yeah. How much is it doing? It did 57,000, 71,000 damage. 99,000 damage. Okay, sick. They took a weird path, so this guy's not hitting like I wish he would. But he will when they come back. Man. Another plasma fence would be very strong. And if we did get that flat land position, see, now we just keep building this. I'm just going to keep building it for maximum HP instead of anything else. I'll throw you down here. And use this to buff all my light mortar positions. So now they have more range. And what else? Range and damage. Which is relevant on some of them. I've got several. So yeah, as we run out of blueprints here, we have more money than blueprints. That's when you really start to lose. I think I've made it to level 56 before. I think that might be my max. I don't know if I might have made it to 60. Definitely not past 60 though. So those fences are going to do a lot of damage, but they're also going to hurt us. But I think it is more important that we do damage to them. All we've done here is go straight down, kind of the HP buffing line. Still would like to place stuff around this division relay. Would love to get some Durandals. That's a nice, chunky, expensive tower that we could really get some benefit from. HQ gains 10% damage in HP. That's hard to pass up, but we get way more from an ammo depot. So here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start rolling. That's what we wanted. Boom. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Crushed it. Love to see it. And I think we're going to place it like so. Man, and even more damage. Okay. Okay, okay. We'll probably place this like so. I think there's genuinely no way else to put this. We're going to go for an ammo depot here. Huh. Ammo depot there. Buff. Grab the slow. We don't need any of that. We just want the big range and the slow. Let's grab another Mirador. No, cancel. Let's put you here. Get you the extra range. And the bonus damage and range for being next to an HQ. And then here, we place this here, we don't get to buff. So that does kind of suck. But I will just place this Mirador here. Give it some long barrels and close support. And even still, with all that, we still are drowning in money. But that was a pretty beautiful power spike for us. Another, was that 40% damage and rate of fire to our headquarters. Which should be doing some pretty damn mean damage. And then not to mention the close support that we got there. I mean, yeah, look at it. It's top dog now. Insane. Our ramparts falling way down. That's because we're just killing so much before it even gets a chance to do anything. And there's not that many little guys for these to nuke. Would love to get more bunkers. All buildings deal 50% damage to air units. Yeah. Yep. Just drowning in beautiful upgrades here. And I think we do this. And we are going to get Barrage Protocol. We're going to get long burners for the range, and then grab the Forbidden Explosives. Large Rack is way stronger. We just don't have very many good central elevated positions that have the 4 square. And I don't have any platforms to make them square. So these are way stronger positions, but it can't fit. So at least if I put it here, I can cover all this entrance. And then if we do get more battlefronts, which I don't think we can at this point. So scratch that. But we get to make use of the ammo depot, which is my other major consideration. I was hoping we'd be able to cover this, at least, but we can't. How we doing? The never-ending run, man. I think we've made an extremely powerful loop. HQ gains 1 weapon, a cruiser cannon. You know what? That's super fun. And it's going to do an unbelievably stupid amount of damage. And I definitely don't need any more supply, so let's take that. That's fun. I'm super happy we got that. We're about to get the James Bond laser. Could get even more repair on the HQ. That might be worth doing, just to stick that down there. More than getting a little bit extra range and damage on this, which doesn't even matter. Yeah. So check this out. If you thought the HQ was doing damage before, it is crushing now. Oversized cannons designed to perform orbital bombardment. And we still have 1,000 supply per turn. And it does hit several targets at a time, and it targets whoever has the most HP. So we've truly ascended into godhood now. I wonder if we can get 2 of those. I mean, look at that. That 1.6 million. That's going to carry us. What do we take now? This is a nice little buff on all of our mirror doors, but our mirror doors aren't doing anything for us. Other than really buffing the HQ. Could put you here. That's fine. Next one would probably put like here-ish, or can we fit something here? Or even here, if we're not going to get a bunch of sturdy bunkers, this is a great position. This might be the fewest scout hideouts I've ever had in any runs that I've played. Normally I've got like at least 3 or 4 of these bad boys. Once they get to the cannon gauntlet, it's all over, baby. Not to mention these double howitzers. Beautiful crossfire. What do we want? I don't really want any of this. We haven't gotten a bastion yet, so I'll take that just for the novelty. Even more discovery. And we will just take all of the, maybe the best upgrades. Or the most expensive ones. Man, look at those missiles. I was this close to making a tasteless Russia-Ukraine joke. I'm glad I didn't. Poor Ukraine, man. Poor people of Ukraine. No matter how you think about that whole situation politically, people's apartment buildings are getting, like, droned. Hate that. I've got much more nuanced opinions on the subject, but I'm going to keep that out of my gaming channel. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I was a Russian linguist in the army. Briefly. But I got a lot of exposure to Russian people. And Ukrainian people and the way they think and feel. And it's so sad what's going on. So another ammo depot here is just godly. We don't have any tech, or else I'd love to give additional range to our headquarters. We'll just take advantage of the buffs from the automated analyzers. But I mean, another 40% damage and rate of fire. It's like, what are we doing? That ion cannon thing, cruiser cannon. We thought it was doing damage before. It's going to hit a mill before they even get close. Enough for its other guns to shoot. Very satisfying. And we're at wave 60, man. How much longer can we keep this going? I don't know. For real, just gonna run out of stuff to talk about. Because it's like, whose line is it anyway, man? The points don't matter. That was probably one of my favorite shows as a kid. In another life, I might have tried to have been a stand-up comedian. I love comedy. I don't know if I'd have been any good at it. But I would have loved to try it. And I know I was heavily influenced by that show. Absolutely loved it. Used to also watch the Drew Carey show. He was big back then, man. Now he just hosts The Price is Right. I think he still does that. But man, he was huge in the early 2000s. Probably late 90s as well. Like, was it late 90s? No, just early 2000s, I think. I can still remember the theme song, Cleveland Rocks, to his show. But there were so many funny people to come out of that. There's a clip, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it was like a improv show where Drew Carey was the host, and he would get these like ridiculous prompts that he would get all these like pretty famous comedians. They would have guest comedians a lot. One of my favorite episodes that you can go and find on YouTube now is the Robin Williams one. He came on and he does improv with all the guys, and it is so funny. If you didn't already love Robin Williams, you'll love him a lot more after that. But whose line is it anyway, man? A show I haven't thought about in a long time. But a classic for sure. So let's kind of measure how close they're getting to us. They're getting back to this intersection here. I mean, that's close. That's not nothing. So we either get a nice buff to all of our zero height buildings, which may also include our headquarters, keep in mind, or we get essentially 4 blueprints out of this. I want to see, you know what? I think this might be stronger, but I want to see what simple tactics, if that applies to the headquarters. It had a green tag, right? Also worth noting, we would have gotten an extra 2% damage off of strength in numbers. Man, waiting for some Uber boss that I've never seen before to come and kill us. Last wave, they got to this intersection here. Let's see if they can beat their personal best. Also, definitely want to see how much our headquarters is doing. If we were playing as the character who sits on top of the headquarters and gets additional bonus damage every wave, that would be insane too. I just think the big turning point for us was making sure that we went Omega Scanner in the beginning for Agraf. I think that was huge. Yeah, we killed him even better this time. Each building gains 3% damage per height value. Holy crap. Take another Retribution. And we could start trying to make some more interesting positions out here. I just don't know if that's even necessary. We'll grab that. We'll grab this. And send it. Man, love the unholy rain of missile fire. It's so sick. It looked like a lot of them whiffed, though. Not 100% sure why on that. Maybe I've placed them too far away so the travel distance is such that they're not able to land before those units died. Or they just straight miss if they're too far away. Maybe we want to try to place those right next to the entrance? I don't know. But the entrance is always moving, right? Headquarters over 3 million damage for sure. Man, what a game changer that one upgrade was. And got it at the perfect time. We would have shortly died without it. Our headquarters is doing the same amount of damage as like all of our other towers combined. Not quite. We've got some big hitters here, but I mean, it's doing a lot. The HQ getting slow, that's pretty good. Holy crap. And we do only have one Durandal position. So everything just got 10% bonus damage. And our HQ just got slow on all of its weaponry, including the cruiser cannon, which I don't think already had slow. Oh my god. Can we die? Is it possible to die? We're getting damn close to 2 hours now. I'm gonna have to get up and do some jumping jacks or something, man. I take blood thinners for a clotting condition that I have. I can't be sitting down for 3 hours. I'm kind of getting more and more willing to go the distance as this run becomes more and more epic. I'm sure there's maybe other even crazier runs you could find on YouTube somewhere with people with way better strats. I did two things. One on accident, which was making this ridiculous loop. That prolonged the run. And then getting the cruiser cannon was also massive. And everybody's doing great. All of our placements, I think, were pretty damn on point. I don't think we have any truly, like, inefficient towers. I have some that I wish were in slightly better positions. Or that we could have taken, like, different upgrade paths. But I think we made kind of the best decisions we could at the times that we made them. I have no regrets. I think we just take this. That's 3 blueprints plus even more buffs for our sturdy bunkers. We could throw this up here and see if that changes anything. We only have 4 entry points, so we're just going to do that. Come down here, place these guys next to their bros with ridiculous coverage. Did not mean to get that, but that's okay. We have infinite money. I don't think it really matters. Just trying to see how much damage this does. Maybe it does even more damage based on proximity. And it seems to. It looks like these guys maybe whiffed. Or, like I said, their targets were already dead, perhaps? That's alright. That was another high-value tower that also gave us 2 other additional high-value towers. And not only do these guys do their own damage and buff themselves, right? They also added extra damage to these 2, thanks to short-range comlink. So now we don't want any additional Durandal positions, because we can't afford to lose that crazy of a damage buff, a 10% damage buff across the board. is insane. Wow, they're starting to get to us, huh? At wave 65, we might finally be going down. Can the HQ protect itself? I mean, that was the most damage we've taken in like 10 waves. Slow it down, slow it down. They're all so low. This is such a powerhouse position that it may look like we're about to die from these, but we're not. Yeah. It was the little guys that almost got us. Interestingly enough. Even more HP and repair for our HQ. And this is a pretty big buff for all the towers that we have. I think we're going to take this. Alright. Be like Khabib. Send location. Send location. Khabib, and between Khabib and Conor McGregor, I think those two are responsible for the best UFC memes. I think I enjoy the Khabib ones the most, though. I don't think anything beats Send Location or Let's Talk Now. That's a pretty sick one. I didn't even see how much damage the headquarters did last wave. It was probably, what, 5-6 million? Change the perspective here. We must protect this house at all costs. My OCD won't let me make this uneven. Look how many. Yeah, the game's killing us now. It said, screw you, buddy. You ain't getting to 70. And I think it's right. I think we're dead. Holy crap. And down we go at sub 5 million. But that was awesome. No achievements or anything, but the headquarters did, I don't even know how much. I'm not, 10 million, a billion. Is that a billion damage? I could figure that. I'm not going to. That was an awesome run. Super fun run. Buffing the main headquarters is definitely the move if you have a character like this guy. But guys, thank you so much for watching our 2-hour epic, super epic run. Victory plus 33. Gonna get that tattooed maybe. But without any further ado, thank you so much. I'm probably going to scatter in more replays of this game going forward. Maybe like look for maybe 1 or 2 a week. I really want to get into Hades 2, and I really want to get back to Final Fantasy Tactics. So that's going to be predominantly what I play on the channel. But I do love this game, and I still have lots to learn about it. And I'm looking forward to getting better at all the different characters. So thank you guys, and I'm Brett, channel's Good Talk Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.